Do you have an appointment? My name is Nick Whittle. Right now I am doing creative directing for the Cinnamon and Sugar YouTube channel, as well as creating animation stories for the segment they call Serve the Story. And other than that, I'm just making whatever I want to make. Some of my inspirations for the art style that I've created of my own is growing up watching cartoons like Billy and Mandy, where it was kind of like a darker, like kid-friendly show, and kind of combining the two has always interested me, of making it a little borderline too dark, but also kind of directing it towards the entire audience of kids, adults, teens, whatever. Of course, like watching Batman, superheroes, Static Shock's one of my favorite ones. At the end of the show, they would always have like the segment where they're drawing the characters, and it kind of shows the step-by-step process. So that's something that's always got me excited to make my own art. I've kind of just been doing art my entire life, as well as I've been skateboarding since I was like 13. My friend D'Angelo came up to me and was talking to me and said he needed someone to animate this Serve the Story thing that they do. I've never done animation before, but I know I can create anything I try hard to do. And if I wasn't gonna do the proper animation, which takes months and months of work, then I was gonna do the next best thing and create my own version of it.
She got up from her nap. She put her clothes on because she was running late for work. And she's a zookeeper. She's a zookeeper at the You Catch 'em, We Cage 'em Zoo.
But the animation that we do is not necessarily just constant moving and motion, but it's kind of like a mind trick to where you're watching all these images together from a storyboard that I created, and it feels like it's an actual show, an actual animation. And eventually I want to get it to the point where we are doing animation, but that's further down the line. This actually happened during COVID, so I didn't even have like anything to do. It was something new, so I didn't mind spending my time with it. And during the entire process, I was just learning, as I still am right now. So shout out COVID, honestly, for even bringing this to any of our like thought process. And it started for me working from there off of a whim to now having the entire process locked down and like constantly still expanding to what it is. So the first chapter is definitely gonna be special for me, but it's gonna be way better for the next everything after. The process is simple. We start with this. This, first off, is a very old notebook. I enjoyed watching pro wrestling as a kid, and I pretended to be a general manager for my fake team, Extreme Team. Yes, very awesome. I start just with a simple piece of paper, and I go through, and the format that they have the audio in is first released on the podcast Cinnamon and Sugar page. I go through, I listen to the entire podcast of the Serve the Story, part 1, 2, and 3, so I can get the whole story down. I go back to episode 1, I listen to it thoroughly, take notes of the key parts that I need to make the storyboard for. For example, kind of go through and get the whole rundown, what characters, where it's gonna be, the names, whose part it is, and it kind of just gives me a more comfort to approaching each storyboard. So we take it from this, D'Angelo's intro, season 1, episode 1, and then we move on to the storyboard. This is my favorite part, and I've never done any storyboard art until I started this project with them. And it's something that it's one of my favorite things now because it's such a cool process. Grew up watching Disney, all this stuff, and since Disney Plus came out, just watching like all the behind the scenes stuff is just like the coolest thing to me. So now being able to be a part of that in my own projects, it's amazing. With the characters, character design is very important. Obviously first, once you get the characters down, you're familiar with them, you created them yourself. So you can just throw them in any situation that comes up in the storyline, and you can do it with ease. This is the first set of the characters that I made for this one. If you've already seen chapter 1, Sarah does not look like that. The neighbor does not look like that. The characters, I missed minor details when I first was creating them. It just happened. So with the miscommunication, I accidentally drew completely characters that didn't fit into the story. I had to go back, and if you want to see what I did before I redid them, this was the first storyboard. If you're a storyboard creator, then you know this is literally not what a storyboard looks like whatsoever. But like I said, this is my first time doing this. We got all of them laid out, and each one, if you go through it, front to back, either if it's not that much work or if it's the entire bag. This is hours and days and weeks gone into working through the storyboards, through each individual episode, each part, getting all the details right. But seeing all of this, if you're a storyboard artist or always wanting to see the process and maybe do it yourself one day, there's something special about starting from here and then ending up all the way down to here. And what's cool about this one, I mean, it literally ends with game over, so it was a great conclusion for the first chapter of Serve the Story. But this one was literally created like months ago, like as soon as COVID happened. That's a year ago. Seeing this now is crazy to me. The process has just gotten way more fluent. It's just, there's something magical about seeing it start from words to pencil and paper artwork to the digital thing, and then putting the digital work into a video. Just cool. So the original files for chapter 1, they're missing. They're not missing, they're just on a computer that it's gonna take like 6 hours to even start up. So we're not even about to go through that. So I'm gonna show you a live performance of the process that I will do. I'm gonna need the help from my camera girl. We're just gonna make up a story, like one little scene right now. Not a full story, just a scene so I can show you the process of what I do. We're gonna have, you want 1 or 2 characters?
2.
2 characters? All right. You want them to be friends? You want them to be enemies? You want them to be
frenemies
in love? You want frenemies? We're gonna have boys, they're gonna be frenemies. So let's see. 2 boys. Are they boys or men?
They're men.
They're men? All right. 2 men. They play sports. What are they into?
Soccer.
They into soccer? All right. They gotta be, if they frenemies, they play soccer. They probably just sitting around kicking the ball together. They probably get in an argument, like in a competitive type of argument or whatever, right? But this scene, I don't want to get too detailed with it, so I'm gonna just have 1 friend on this side, 1 friend on this side. One's a little shorter than the other, so the other guy's kind of looking down on him. It kind of gives it that big brother feel. They're friends, they arguing something about soccer, could be about a professional player, could be about a player they just did. Who knows? It's up to you to think about that. I'm gonna draw them. One's gonna have the soccer ball in his hand, just gonna be pointing up at the guy because he's looking down on him and he's just yelling. Simple scene, can't get too crazy with it because like I said, we just improv doing this on the spot. So I guess, you know, cut this to the magic scene of me just drawing and then it'll be done by the time you guys see this. We have our characters. Charles Bradley, number 5. He's a tall soccer player, a little bubbly, kind of stiff. He's wearing a crop top because he's cool and he can. And then we got his frenemy, the short, angry, somewhat skilled, kind of cocky Jeremy, number 11, very odd. We'll draw one scene with them real quick. That'll be our video. I've taken our 2 frenemies and I've created the scene. We're just keeping it one simple scene right here. Like I said, we got Jeremy, the little angry short soccer player, the frenemies, and we got him yelling at the tall dude. What are they arguing about? Who knows, man? This is not a real story. This is just an example. So Charles is just kind of taking it, and he's just looking down on this fool. It's always crazy when someone's short is just yelling at a tall guy. There's something funny about it. It just really shows how big this person really is compared to him, or at least pretending to be. This is our final product. We went from words on a piece of paper, character design, storyboard art, to the digital page. That's little pieces of what we do behind the scenes for the Serve the Story segment of Cinnamon and Sugar. There's a lot more to it than just this. This is a tiny piece of the puzzle. We can show you more throughout time. I hope you've enjoyed learning a little bit of the secrets behind Serve the Story. Appreciate anybody for watching. Serve the Story Chapter 2 comes out next week. I guarantee this one is way different than the first one. A lot more colors, more character, and motion within it. And yeah, appreciate everyone for watching. AJ appreciates it too. If you guys didn't get to see AJ yet, I'm gonna go ahead and show you the cat. She's the one that jumps on my keyboard and I film funny cat videos of. Say bye, AJ. Bye, everyone. That's a wrap. Cut it. That's a wrap. Meow.